Hey guys, so I'm doing part 2 of chapters 4 through 6, and where I'm going to actually go into discussing 4 through 6. I kind of gave in the other video kind of a vague overview, I guess you could say, of just the whole book as a whole so far. So now I'm actually going to go into and discuss the chapters. So in chapter 4, pretty much these are the events. I'm just going to go and discuss the events that happened. In chapter 4, Caleb worries about Beatrice because Beatrice went home earlier from the aptitude test and she didn't take the bus with like everyone else did, and he kind of doesn't know why. The word was that she got sick during the test and had to be sent home, but in fact, she got a really rare answer from the test, which was, like I said in the previous video, she had to choose from 3 factions instead of 2. And then in chapter 5, that's the choosing ceremony. This is the big oomph moment. Like, this is where Beatrice's life is determined. And it's a big deal for her because, like I said in the previous video, she gets 3 choices. She gets to be either in Dauntless, Abnegation, or in Erudite. And Caleb is first in line before Beatrice, and she kind of notices that he's kind of, I don't know, she kind of feels that he's going to choose abnegation out the back. He's not going to leave um, his family. But what she doesn't notice is that he's really pondering about his decision, what he's going to do. Because even though he's such a good person, he's really selfless, he doesn't feel like he fits in abnegation and he wants out. And so she's very surprised when Caleb picks Erudite. And then it's Beatrice's choice, and she kind of again thinks, because at first she didn't know what she was going to do, and then her brother is leaving abnegation, so she again worries, should she stay in abnegation because her parents are losing a child, or should she not stay in abnegation and do pretty much what she wants to do and live the way she wants to live. And so Beatrice chooses Dauntless, and she kind of, the whole chapter pretty much is herself talking through the decision of which she has to choose, and kind of weighing out the options. And I think that was really cool because you kind of get into the thought process of what she's thinking and what she's feeling, and you kind of feel like Beatrice, like you're put on the spot and you have to choose which one you're going to be placed in. Which kind of reminded, the whole placing thing kind of reminded me of Harry Potter, except you kind of get one choice and the magical hat chooses for you. But that just came into my mind, so I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And then in chapter 6, Beatrice chooses Dauntless, and she leaves the choosing ceremony with the new group of Dauntless. And the first thing they do is they run down these stairs, and there's a bunch of stairs going up to the ceremony room. And on the way to the ceremony room, her father made them walk the stairs when all the other factions took the elevator. And now Beatrice feels free, and she just runs down those stairs with the rest of the Dauntless, and what she hasn't ever been able to do before. And the Dauntless do their own sets of tests. Just because you were chosen to be part of the Dauntless through the aptitude test does not mean that the Dauntless are going to accept you. The Dauntless have their own set of tests that the new faction joiners, I guess you could say, have to go through. And one of those tests is jumping on a moving train and jumping off onto a rooftop. And that would be the first test. And on the train, Beatrice almost fails. Beatrice jumps onto the train, but she almost kind of falls off, or she doesn't get her whole body up there. And if you guys are reading along, you guys know that Beatrice isn't the most muscular girl. She isn't tough. She's really skinny. She's, she doesn't eat, I guess, as much as everyone else from other factions do. Like, because the selfless faction has their own set of meals, and they don't eat meat, and she's not very tough, I would say. And so she jumps on this train, and she's trying to hold on, and this girl, Christina, actually helps her on. And to get out of the train, to get to the Dauntless headquarters, she has to jump onto a rooftop, which is another, challenge for her because she's never done anything like this before. She hasn't been able to be a thrill seeker before. This is all new to her. And so she and Christina decide to hold hands and then jump off the train together. And they land onto the rooftop. And then Beatrice witnesses something very, very shocking to her, and that's kind of seeing some people fail the first test of not being able to jump off the train, or some people have been dying. And the ones that don't pass the first test, they go into a part of the factions, which is called factionless people, and pretty much they just don't belong anywhere. And once on the rooftop, Beatrice is faced with another challenge, and this challenge is to jump into a black hole, and she doesn't know what's expecting her. Pretty much it's a rooftop, and then there's just darkness below it, and that's where she has to jump. And she doesn't know what's below. She doesn't know if she's going to survive, if she's not going to survive, but Beatrice decides that she's going to be the first person to jump, and she volunteers herself and she jumps. And at the end of the tunnel, she lands into a net, and one of the boys from the faction of Dauntless helps her out and asks her what her name is. And this, I think, is the main part of the chapter 6, is that Beatrice is no longer Beatrice. She changes her name, and she is now called Triss. And I just thought that was amazing, and I just thought that was a perfect way to end the chapter and just kind of show that she does change throughout the beginning, where she is Beatrice, the girl who tries to think selflessly, but she can't, and now she is this whole new person, and she is determined to become this new person, Triss. So I just thought that to wrap my whole chapter thoughts and part 2 of this video, I don't know if I'm going to be making part 2 of every chapter, but I just kind of wanted to do my own little beginning of the book, kind of from the beginning to now kind of thing. So that's kind of what I did, and I hope you guys enjoyed these 2 videos, and check out the blog, like I said, for thoughts and all that stuff, because I will be putting those up. I don't know if any of the other bloggers will be doing that, but I will do that. And I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.